Good afternoon. We'll call to order the Tree Advisory Commission meeting. It's 4 p.m. on Thursday, September 4th, 2025. And we'll begin with taking roll. So welcome all, welcome guests. We'll introduce you as you come to the mic later, but we'll go around the room.
Joe Sadam, City Engineer.
Miriam Waldner, Commissioner.
Lee Knopf, Commissioner.
Greg Dearson, Commissioner.
Paul Egland, Commissioner.
Jordy Veit, Commissioner.
Joey Schugel, Park and Recreation Director.
Jeff Huffman, Public Works Superintendent.
We'll seek approval of the agenda today.
I move that it be approved.
I'll second.
Motion and second to approve the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Nope. The agenda is approved. Now I'll seek approval of the minutes from May 1st of 2025.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of May 1st, 2025.
Thank you, Lee.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Same? No? The minutes are approved. Into our agenda item number 5, then, our old business, city reimbursement programs and budget update. Joe?
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair and Commission members. Good evening. Just quickly run through where our reimbursement program's sitting currently. We have quite a bit of funding left over yet for diseased tree removals. Of the $100,000 that was budgeted for that reimbursement program for the diseased tree removals, we've gone through about $21,000 of that. So we're sitting at almost $79,000 remaining in that account. And the Boulevard planting reimbursement program, that was a $10,000 budgeted amount. We've gone through about $3,500 of that, so $6,500 remains in that account as well. So overall budget is quite healthy at the present time, with about just under $97,000. But again, most of that is in the reimbursement program for the ash tree removal. So happy to answer any questions you may have.
All right, no questions from the commissioners. Thank you, Joe.
Yep.
Our 5.2 is Park and Recreation Department update. Joe?
Thank you, Chair Dearson. Commissioners, a few updates today. So wanted to go through and get you an update where the parks stand with the emerald ash borer trees. So we've really focused on some of the larger removals and hiring some consulting services, or I should say vendors to professional vendors to take those down. And then our crews also hitting some of the smaller ones that we're able to with our equipment. But as it stands, today we have 61 total ash trees left in city parks, which is far more manageable than where we were at. Most of our large removals are done, so this fall, winter, depending on weather, our goal is to hit a lot of these and see where we're at come early next year with our staff. So we do still treat some in German Park particularly, next to the band shell, and those are kind of the only ones we're still treating. We're also holding on to some at North Park that are, in relatively, and some of the larger ones at North Park that weren't in good shape have been removed already as well. So that's our ash inventory right now. In addition, we have also replanted a fair number. Early this summer, I reported on, actually in our May meeting, we had our plantings in already. Just recently, we put a couple memorial trees in, one at Lincoln Park, one on the Civic Center, so people are still interested in, recognizing or memorializing either a family member or someone significant to them in our park system. So that's been great. But yeah, so other than that, any questions on anything parks and recreation related?
Of the 60 that are left, are there any that are in real bad disease shape, or is it we know that they're there and we're monitoring?
Yes, so none really in bad. I mean, we have a contractor who's taken some of the worst ones down at North Park. Still has a couple to go that are in pretty tough shape. Those will go yet this fall, but the smaller ones have been not quite as deteriorated to this point. So, but a lot of these will be taken down this winter is our goal. And then there's a lot of stump removal to happen.
Well, depending on the snow.
Right.
Last year, they made a lot of progress, and so we'll see. Thank you, Joy. To that, Public Works update for 5.3, Jeff Hoffman.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. Stump cutting right now is probably going to start up mid-September when we get our summer projects done here. So we're looking at mid-September sometime to starting that. And on the list right now, we have about 130 of them, just boulevard trees that we have. That's not including the park trees, so we'll be pretty busy. But we're going to try if we can get both stump cutters going and try and knock a bunch out. Hopefully we get some decent weather, we can do it. So that's where we're sitting on that. So.
And then I forgot, so back to present number of trees, the cemetery area, that location, the trees and stumps all out, or trees out, some stumps to go?
Cemetery, I think they got 5 or 6 small trees yet that are handleable, or we'll be able to handle this winter and take them out. But yeah, as of now, everything that is down, the stumps are all cut out on them. I think there's like 4 or 5, 6 trees left out there to take, and they're smaller ones that we can handle. We'll do this winter when we have time.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and this was a good year for a lot of those replants and this year's plantings. Some of the trees that have been put in the parks have really taken off, so to speak. So, filling back in. 5.4, the private tree services update. Tony's not here as a guest today, and has no other additional. 5.5, the Emerald Ash Borer update. Is there anything additional?
Mr. Chair and Commissioners, I mean, I can certainly touch on the DNR grant program right now, or we can wait until the new business item, so.
We'll just put in the new business
Okay,
portion.
yeah, I'll put all of my information in that item, so.
Okay. 5.6, the big tree contest. The Ginkgo was this year, and the submission deadline was July 31st. We received 4 entries, and the tree measurements need to be done to determine the winner. Paul's going to on that, so if 1 or 2 commissioners want to go along and check his work.
I need a witness, you know? At least 1, maybe 2. Okay,
Just tell me where and when.
okay, we need the list.
We need to establish a day so that we can communicate on a weekday, maybe the day
Right.
before.
Yes,
So-
Commissioner, so if it's Paul and Lee, if you are the two doing it, if you guys could coordinate
Okay. we'll
some
get
times that
together.
work for you, and then Danita can provide that list, during business hours and equipment that's needed, and we can go from there. If it's not during business hours, that's okay. We can just give us some notice, so we can have things ready for you as well.
But I'll let you work that date and time out.
We'll get it for the next meeting. For
Oh,
sure.
oh, sure.
What about the prizes? How is that?
That's predetermined, and
We just have to provide the name.
yep,
and
yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Because that's towards a new tree.
Replanting of a new tree, yes.
And they can, the winner can declare where that goes. So we've accepted them before.
Yes, so we've accepted them in parks before, or, any city-owned properties, or, or with private owner approval.
Or in their yard, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
But if they've already got a really big ginkgo, they maybe don't have room for a tree. So they need to maybe go somewhere else. So they'll work through that, communicate with Danita, and it'll be solved by our next meeting. Our 5.7, our walkabout program recap. So we've got a couple guests today that have some pictures to share. So if you would, please, do you want to take the microphone?
Right.
We've got them in a file, so
Yes.
they can be put,
So yes, there are pictures in the packet.
Okay. Well, first I'm Deb Eglund. I wanted to thank the commissioners for participating. We thought it was kind of an interesting idea, and I got tired of Paul telling me all about trees when he and I went for a walk. So I thought we should share the joy.
Learned a lot.
So anyway, I appreciate your commitments to be part of it. And I was interested in any comments you might have back to us, because we'd like to try it again, if you're willing. So any suggestions or things that you thought could be changed or done differently?
Could we do a fall?
Well, that was going to come up. I thought it would be nice to do one sometime early in October, because it'd be nice when the trees were starting to lose their leaves so we could see branching better. And then you could tell the people about pruning techniques, and they could see the actual branching that would determine what to prune and how to do it. So I was going to bring that up, so since you brought it up, does that seem to work if it would be sometime early in October? You can think about that and maybe get back to me, and we'll figure out a date.
Sure.
And I think time-wise, it seemed like the one that was on a weekend, there was a Saturday morning one that I don't remember who led, that seemed to have the most attendance. And so I was thinking we might try to do more on Saturday morning, afternoon, Sunday afternoon, maybe depending on when in October, it could be an early evening type thing. So if you want to be mulling those things over so that we can talk again and decide, that would be helpful. So that basically was what I had, was to see if you had comments back. Did you feel like we should have done anything differently?
Well, I did a early Saturday afternoon one, and I thought it went pretty good. So we even had, I think it was 2 people come out of their houses as we were going by asking questions. So, yeah. So we had the main group, and then there was a couple others that came and asked questions as well. So I thought it went over really good. A lot of good questions, and a lot more to talk about than there was time for, but
When we heard comments afterward from people that had heard about it and thought, oh, I should have gone on that. So I'm hoping maybe there'll be more the next time.
One gentleman even came out of his house to complain about all the trees, that we have too many. That was at Nell's Park.
That complaint.
Yeah, you were there. You were there.
if we could we get that? Could we get those images on the screen?
We can.
Is that possible? Because there's a real nice view of Paul giving a group, and that looks like it's at Nails Park. Yes.
Ah, yes. Ah, yes.
The first one was Nels Park, and then looks like right by Harmon Park, crossing Garden Street.
yep.
So that might be a location where we would repeat a walk like that, especially as we've got some new trees planted in there, and it would be neat to watch that over time.
Another thing that could be done when you're doing the walks and when we're advertising them is, again, remind people that you've got that incentive program for helping pay for trees. I think that would fit in sort of
Yeah.
well.
Good point.
And there's a pretty good group of species up at Nails Park, so it's, I thought about that with the MLC campus, is there's some trees that you could see examples of, not necessarily when they're real small, but when they're half-grown or full-grown. So knowing which species it is or what you're looking at is sometimes useful for somebody when they're thinking about putting one in their yard.
Well, and that might be something as a commission you might think about doing, is making a little handout that we could give to people with
That's a good
tree
point, too.
suggestions, or even pruning, maybe some pruning suggestions, but definitely tree suggestions, both for caring for new trees as well as types of trees. So anyway, yeah, there you go.
So commissioners, one thing I thought about, if there's a desire to do this in the future, one of the biggest times of year when you're in front of people is at the home show, if you choose to continue doing the home show. So if that is a desire to do in 2026, maybe having those dates and the program, far ahead of time of when we had them this year could be something to get people, just for some extra time to recognition of the program. Just an idea.
Mr. Chair and Commissioners, if we do get some dates selected, we can share that with the mayor and the city manager, so when they do community affairs on KNUJ, they can spread the word on that as well.
Yeah, community affairs would be.
Yep.
Perfect.
Anything else?
I'd be willing to conduct a couple more.
You're the one that knows everything.
Yeah. Paul's committed for 5 years, I think. 8?
Yes,
Okay.
works.
I gotta stick to lean on, I'm doing okay.
Well, let me know, and we'll get back with you. Our committee will be meeting again one of these days, and we'll come up with some dates in October. Like I said, I thought we'd maybe lean towards weekends and one evening or so. Not a whole lot of walks, maybe 3. I don't know. But if you have any ideas on that, let Paul know or let me know, and we'll get together and reshape how we do it. But I do appreciate your willingness to give it a shot, so thank you.
Thank you.
For organizing and chasing people around and helping us to be able to share some of these. It was enjoyable, so.
Well, and a lot of people seem kind of interested in actually finding out what their trees are, and so, yeah, it's a good thing.
If we have too many trees, we might as well enjoy them and
Well, that's
and
true.
show them off, so.
That's
good.
Thank you.
We might also consider, is there a way to, either with an image or a map of the trees at Nails, or to ID some of them along the walkway, so it's easy to identify them for a self-tour even.
Yes, yes, all that would be possible with enough time.
And I'm thinking of Herman Heights, where the row of cherry trees along the sidewalk, that's a pretty neat view.
Absolutely.
If you know what they are, you know what to call them, but even some of the red buds, I think right now are really, they've got some fall beauty too, so.
Right.
Thank you. So our old business concludes with 5.7, and then number 6 is new business, so 6.1, Minnesota DNR tree grant, and Joe's going to explain some of that for us, please.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, Commissioners, I can give some numbers and some background, and then I'll let Park and Rec Director Schugel kind of go over the letter portion of the requests here today. So previously, the city, back in 2019 and 2021, applied for and received DNR grant program funds for removal of ash trees. And back in 2023, we once again applied and ultimately were unsuccessful with that grant application. So we're going to try again. The DNR has reopened their relief program grant opportunity. So we are going to try to see if we can get some funding from the state to kind of, this would end our boulevard removals and city park property, city parks and city property removals. So we estimate there's 382 ash trees remaining within the city boulevards, parks, and city property. So as Director Schugel alluded to, there's 61 park trees, and then about 27 trees on other city-owned properties. Vast majority of those are at the wastewater treatment plant on the south end of town. 294 of those trees are on the boulevards. So we are estimating, $550 per tree to remove the boulevard trees and the park trees and city property trees. So our estimated removal cost is about $210,000, and then new plantings, about $153,000. So our grant request from the DNR is going to total $362,900. The grant application I just finished up today in draft form. Staff will take some time and review that and refine that, gather our support letters, and then hopefully get that submitted off to the DNR. And we are hopeful that we will receive the funding and would be able to, tackle this and kind of be done with our boulevard ash problem that we have. So that's my summary for now. I'd be happy to answer any questions, and I'll turn it over to Director Schugel.
Commissioners, as part of that application in the past, this commission has provided a letter of support. That the last letter of support is in your packet today. There wouldn't be much needed to change. So staff would update that if this commission would like to make a motion to support that today. Then we would work on that step and have our chair sign that for us.
I would move that we draft the subject letter and get it ready for Greg's signature. He signed it last time, I believe.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion or any questions? I'll call it then. All in favor of drafting a letter of support for these grants, say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. And I'll be in communication with your office and sign that off. Because that would go a long way to finish this process out. And it would probably impact that last group of people that's being impacted.
Yep, that's the hope. So we'll see how the DNR feels when they review our application.
Recalling last time, I believe the amount of applications and dollars assigned to those was astronomical compared to the amount of money there. So we anticipate that again, but there'll be a bunch of communities that received the last cycle, so now maybe we're back in line again too.
Yeah, I think that was the one item in our disadvantage last time is we had 2 cycles of grant funding before. We've successfully delivered those DNR grants, so we have that in our favor as well. I did forget to mention that the grants pool that we are applying in has $7 million available. So,
Are they separate as one is simply listed as tree planting and the other one is relief, or is
this program includes the removal and replacement. So this one application will fund both the removal and replanting.
Very good. Well, we'll follow up with that as that letter is ready. And we'll share it and hopefully we'll get some word back. Usually it was over the winter.
Yeah, we would be, Mr. Chair and Commissioners, should we be successful in the funding, we are ready to turn this around almost immediately and get out for bids and get the contract going, so.
Thank you. It's a lot of legwork behind when the city's writing these, so takes a bit. So thank you for your effort. Number 7 is Commissioner reports. Anything new or anything added? we'll certainly consider the October kind of timeframe for some of those tree walks in the next year. And I think adding that, maybe preparing and adding that information in would be good. Some of the other city summer celebrations may or may not align, and the use of the parks may or may not align or time out well, but that might be something to try to coordinate as well, so.
The other thing too, I had just thought of, I had done a cast presentation. I've done a few of them now. In the last one I was at, we were talking about the tree walk, and there may be some interest in, there'd probably be more of a spring since we'd have more time to plan it out, but maybe doing a kind of presentation on trees with cast before the walks, so you could maybe see if they want to coordinate, could do some information at that maybe it's not as easy or as handy to be showing out in the field. There's some background information. So that'd just be kind of another thought that I heard that came up with that as well, so.
Refresh us, CAST is.
CAST is the Community and Seniors Together, if I have the abbreviation. Yep, so, yeah, yep. Yeah, I've done a few invasive species. I've done, last year did a trees and climate change. So, yeah.
In some of those locations, both Nails Park and Herman Heights, there's a lot more, or it's easier for accessibility in some of those, so those might be prime locations. So. Thanks, Jordy.
Yeah.
Our date of our next meeting, November 6th, the Thursday at 4 p.m. here. Please have agenda items emailed 1 week prior. Seeing no further business, we will be adjourned.